Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this video. We are going to look at legendary statements that have been made by Peter Obi of the Labour Party. It is obvious that the name Peter Obi is a name that will forever be present whenever the political system or politics of Nigeria is discussed. These videos would tell you exactly why.
I was removed from office twice because he was talking about sharing money. And I can tell you why I was removed from office. It's all part of this. When I was starting, Anambra State government house was burnt. Because when I say where we are going to save money, I want to tell you how we saved it and how we were able to be the only government that left and didn't borrow money from anybody. It stayed saved. When Anambra State, in 2004, the Anambra governor's house was burnt, the governor's lodge, as well as the government house. Coincidentally, in 2006 when I started, the budget to repair the government house was 298 million. To repair the governor's lodge was 481 million. These are the two reasons why I was impeached. The third was saving money without permission. And I said to them, wait a minute, I repaired everything in the government house, which is governor's office. I repaired everything with 43,200,000. The only thing I didn't buy new was furniture. Because there's a table used by one of my predecessors that was kept somewhere and they say it's old. But I called the man, the furniture man, I said, if you wipe this seat, would it be neat? I just don't say you're right. Let's do to buy new one. Why are we buying new one? The governor's lodge. I had a point. I want you to tell, I'm no longer the governor, so these are things you can verify. The governor's lodge, which was a budget of 486 million, I repaired everything with 81,700,000. In both of them, because the contract was awarded before I came, they said I did it without passing through the due process. Because they have awarded the contract. And I said no. Obasanjo as president, because one of the things that I did is that we had a governor's lodge in Lagos. We had a governor's lodge in Abuja. We had almost 60 workers in Abuja. And I asked them, why will governor of Anambra State have a lodge in Lagos? Why will he have a lodge in Abuja? Does he live in Abuja? What is he doing in Abuja? You know what they wrote me? Every other government have it. I said, that's not what I asked. Why are we having to have a lodge in Abuja? I don't live there. Each time I go to Abuja, the cook there, we will need to give him about 30,000 to cook. And I said, cook, you're going back to Oka. It costs 5,000 naira to eat buffet at Hilton, and you charge me 30 here. So what are you cooking here? You must go back to Oka. You know, and people say, here, the government will not patronize you. They will not patronize white man. They will not do it. So there's so many things we take against. That is where a journalist had to say, let us take it back. Let nobody tell you there's not enough money. No. Tell me what a governor in Nigeria needs a dispatch rider for. What for? If I tell you how we stop fuel, we used to have a fuel dump when I was governor. Fuel dump. It was costing us almost 30 million a month. I said, what is it? They say, hey. I said, shut it down. So I said, okay, you know what we are going to do? Bring down the convoy. People in Anambra here, I don't use her. I asked them, carry this thing and go. Pack it. My convoy is 5 vehicles. And you cannot buy fuel unless I'm inside the car. So I will pay them. No more. People will say, hey, wait a minute. the youths that are here. It is your future that they are toying with. So you go and verify what happened in Anambra State. What I did in terms of human capital. I'm contesting the election. I have a past. This is time for you to go and verify about my past. Don't go and verify about my shoe. Go and verify about what I did, by my work. This is time to ask who is Peter Obi. Where has he passed through? This is time to scrutinize everything about him. I urge you, let's build a better Nigeria. Nigerians are talented. Our youths are very innovative. All they require is government directive, a policy that can give them access to training and access to funding. I know what it means. I've created wealth from MSMEs. And that is what I'm coming to offer. So that the youth can become an engine of growth. I want them in their productive age to be productive. So we can start changing it. It's not going to be easy. But everybody has to sacrifice. And I live in the sacrificing that, doing that. I've shown it in a state. I finished in Anambra State. I left their money. I didn't take it away. So it's on record and exclusive that I left 75 billion. I left it in Nigeria. Not in foreign bank, in Nigeria. Until today, I don't have any form of pension. Anambra have not bought me pure water since I left office. Because I cancelled it. I said, when you finish, you go home. I've gone home. And that's what I want to do in Nigeria. To serve them and go home. Whenever I hear of no structure, my answer to it is simple. 100 million Nigerians that live under poverty will be the structure. The 35 million Nigerians who don't have youth, who don't know where the next meal will come from, will be the structure. The elderly, the mothers, the fathers, the old ones that are dying or being owed gratuity, pension will be the structure. The ASU, the lecturers who are being owed, the students that are not in school will be the structure. We will create the structure and they will see what the structure is all about. The structure is about human beings. I want to remove the sharing formula and replace it with production formula. Every country must be productive for it to survive. If you go today everywhere, there's production, except in Nigeria. All they do is sharing. All we do is begging. Young people are not meant to beg. They are the geniuses that are creating businesses all over the world. And they have the talents here. And I will invest in them. I remember Ngozi Iweala crying every day to us governors. Let's save this money. Let's invest more in sovereign wealth fund. Let's invest more in whatever thing we have agreed to save money. That there must be a rainy day. Every one and each of us, said no. Let's share the money. What is he talking about rainy day? That is already pouring. And everybody have not run the other way and say, oh, things are bad. But you created this problem yesterday. Dr. Liu had just told you about Wilo. I don't know Wilo from Adam. And even when I became a governor, he told me he's a heart specialist. That he can do heart operation with this. I said, why don't you come and do it in Anambra State? He told me, there's no hospital where he can do it. I said, you know what you're going to do? Give me the cost of all the equipments you need to do it. And I went to a mission hospital. By the time we calculated, everything came to almost £1 billion. I wrote the check and gave the mission. I said, listen, set it up. He's there, he's working. They haven't operated on me, but they're saving other people's lives. Why will I use that money? Why will I take that money to come and buy a house in Atlanta? Do I live in Atlanta? No. If I come to Atlanta, I pay for a hotel and go. This hotel room cannot cost more than $200 a night. I won't even pay if it's more, because I only want to sleep. And people come here and pay for $2,000 to sleep. If anybody takes $2,000 from me, I will be awake, thinking they're stealing my money. Why will I sleep? It's only to sleep. But people come here, if see a man who has, I can understand Ben Bruce, who has had money all the while, he can tell me the type of hotel he's sleeping. It doesn't matter to me, the name of the hotel. All you want is to sleep. You're not going to buy the hotel. You're not the owner of the hotel. So don't tell me you're staying in a Ward of Australia, you're staying in this. A hotel is a hotel. You only want to sleep and wake up in the morning. And people do it with other people's money, not with their own money. You cannot. And that is the waste you see in our place. Nigerians people are using government money to travel first class. Who said if you stay on the other side of the plane, you won't get there? We voted for only one person, not husband and wife, not you and your children. I have 2 kids, they are graduates, they are working. One of them is just an ordinary secondary school teacher, and he goes to school every day. That's what it should be. I'm not saying it's ordinary, it's celebrated. That's what she does, and she's happy with it. She goes there, she teaches the young girls like every other teacher in Nigeria, and she's very, very happy with it. So what we need to do is to get people to do a good work. I have a son, he's 28. He doesn't have a car because he has to buy his own car. It's not my car. He's the son of a governor, not the governor. I'm the governor. We have to make this country work for everybody, and it can work. Thank you. And irresponsibility of office holders. There's nowhere in the world you see somebody who is supposed to be a custodian of the law breaking the law consistently, except in this country. Because he makes sure he jumps the queue if other people are queuing. He makes sure he does everything that is wrong. So for me, doing that was the most critical thing. Let me plead with all of you this night. Whenever people talk about you, all of you are being to good schools. I always have friends like you who tell me about Singapore and this and that. And what I tell them that if you go to Singapore, and that's the only example I'll use, the best people are in government. The best brain is in government. I plead with all of you, as you enjoy and do whatever you do in your good office and everything, please do not leave governance to the least in the society. That's what we are doing today. The role models we have in government are the least in the society. And all of us are complaining. There's no way we won't complain. There's no way. People say to me, how were you able to save money? It was very simple. All we did was to shut down the cost of governance. In 8 years, I never had a governor's lodge in Abuja. Why should I have it? I don't live in Abuja. It's not necessary. As a governor's lodge in Lagos, you can go and sit at least for 25 years. I don't live in Lagos. Why should we have governor's office in Lagos? In one year alone, we cut the cost of governor's travel by 80%. Why? When they invite me to Abuja for meeting, I'm the only person invited. Why should I go with 30 other people who nobody invited? And they have no reason to be there. And that's what is happening. You don't need to go too far. No, it's important that you know that. That is what is their problem, the cost. I went to school, say University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I used to drive from University of Nigeria, Nsukka to ABU. I used to drive from there to Unilag, to Ibadan, to everything. We didn't know any difference between us because things were good. Everybody had, listen, we had the same job. I'm an investor, I'm a trader. I have people today who have invested in companies run by Yorubas, the Hausas and everything, and we're very close. This division is for because of the incompetency of the leadership, and to sustain the incompetency and people who don't have capacity, they put it into a tribal sentiment.
Yeah.
So uniting them is very easy. For me, Nigeria is one. I'm worried about what is happening in Northwest, what is happening in Northeast, what is happening in Southeast and everything. And I can tell you, it can be dealt with easily. Once you start driving the process of the economic revolution, you will see people coming together.
Big Fortune 500 companies like SAB Miller, Distel, and GlaxoSmithKline, Nemeth Pharmaceuticals, etc., to Anambra State. Under him, Anambra State was rated the least indebted state in Nigeria by the Debt Management Office. Anambra was adjudged by the Federal Ministry of Works the state with the best network of roads in the country, having asphalted over 800 kilometers of roads. He reopened long-closed schools and returned missionary schools to the original owners with a grant of 6 billion naira for their rehabilitation, distributing over 30,000 computers, internet access, Microsoft academies to over 500 schools. Anambra State students, for the first time, achieved first place nationwide in the 2013 WAEC and NECO Common Entrance examinations. He provided 700 buses to secondary schools in the state and provided boreholes to over 300 schools. He also built classroom blocks in all the 177 communities in the state. He ensured the payment of over 35 billion naira in outstanding pensions and gratuities in the state since 1999. Before he became governor, no single health institution was accredited in the state. But under his administration, 10 schools of nursing, midwifery, and medical technology, as well as 2 hospitals, were accredited. Mr. Peter Obi stands for justice and fairness and was the first Nigerian governor to reclaim his governorship mandate after 3 years in the court, giving confidence.
The reason why I'm here is that this is a new politics. As you know, I play politics differently. For me, politics is not a war, it's a relationship. And Atiku is my leader, he was my boss and a senior brother. If he invites me for anything, I'll attend. Aspiring does not say I should not keep my relationship that is very cordial and everything. I'm aspiring. But remember, I always say, Atiku is a unifier. He believes in Nigeria. He's a good man. And every time he invites me for anything, I'll be there. That notwithstanding, I'm aspiring. Okay. I want to serve Nigeria.
Okay, so when should people be expecting your own?
Let me even tell Nigerians, which you don't know, there's nothing in our constitution called security vote. Anybody who tells that security vote is in our constitution is a lie. There's nothing in our constitution called security vote. It is a terminology that was over the years formulated for one thing or the other. What we have a contingency fund, and that contingency fund is meant to be there. And I can say today that it's been abused. It has become the source, our biggest source of waste. Security vote is not supposed to be more than 2, 3, maximum 4% of the expenditure. But you have a situation today where it constituted 20, 30%. When I started, I recall somebody telling me, just to say you have bad things, somebody telling me that my security vote can be as much as 12 billion. So 1 billion per month. And I said, fine. How much are we giving to primary schools per year? And they said, we have 1,040 primary schools. I said, so if we give the primary school 5 million, it will amount to 5 billion. So it will be remaining 7. We have 257 actually secondary schools. And I said, we'll give each 10 million per year. That's what I give them. And these are things you want to, can check me. So I said, remove it. So they removed it from the remaining 7. And I said, we have hospitals, 4 critical hospitals that were built by the churches. They were Yenu, Boromeo, St. Joseph Adazi, and the one in Ihala, Our Lady of Lords. That's where we had, because we didn't have when I started. And he said to me, how are you going to save it? How? Why? I always say it. Out of this so-called 5.4 trillion, 12 to 15% is used in running the office of the governor, including the so-called controversial security vote, aids, everything takes almost between 12 and you're looking at about 600 to 800 billion. Thereby, I want you to listen to me. Thereby, if you decide to reduce it to 3 to 5%, it will be between 200 and 300 billion. You save at least 450 to 600 billion. That's a saving of 450 billion. If you decide to do proper procurement, competitive procurement that is competitive, you save as much as the same amount. So with these two, you've saved almost 900 billion. If you decide to do away with the unconstitutional office of First Lady, it's very unconstitutional and adds a lot of confusion to what is happening. It costs an average state today about 2 billion to run that office. And all the office does is create confusion. So if you do away with it, as 2 billion average in a state, you have saved additional to 2 billion, which is 72 billion naira. Add it to our 900, we have 970. If you decide today, the average, most states have about an average of 6 bulletproof vehicles. Today is about 100 million naira for one. And if you times it, 100 million today, times 6, then times 36, it comes to about 21.6 billion. But if you reduce it to 2, it will be about 7.2 billion, and you save about 14 point something billion. If you decide, the average government house have about 25 jeeps. Today's price is about 35 to 40 million. So you're looking at an average of, if you use 35, is 875 million naira each, multiplied by 36. Again, if you reduce it from 25 to 8, you save about 15 billion. We don't need this batch rider or whatever what is these people that create a lot of noise. You don't need that machine. You can go without them. Each of those machines, each of those machines costs about 12 to 15 million naira. And I can tell you most states have about 6, 7, 8 of them. If you do away with them, you will find out that it's at another savings of probably 3 billion naira. Traveling. 1 minute. Traveling. Every government house or governor can tell you the number of traveling budgets, logistics, the qualities of name is almost 500 to 600 million. I believe you can do with, if you times again 600 times 36, I believe you can do all your travels for a third of that. You save 115. So if you look at what I've showed you now, you're going to save over 1 trillion. And I can tell you it is practical. People who said to me, Peter, how is this possible? How is it not possible? My dear, I was the governor. When I came to office, my first 4 trips to Abuja, I traveled with over 30 people. Over 30. Everybody have a title to be in the plane. Everybody have a title to do this. So, wait a minute. I'm the only person invited to Abuja. I pay for 30 people.
Peter Obi used state finance to do his family business. Please address that. What is going on as regards that?
Which family business?
So that's what people are saying.
Which family business? Anybody can say, which family business? Rufai, which family business? Can they call one family business? You know, they just tell you all sorts of things. No criminal leaves what he can steal. No criminal. That's why even if you go to church, they tell you to protect your phone. Rufai, I left almost 100 billion. When I have the powers to take it, in any other country, I have the highest award. I have the Queen's Award in the UK. I have it anywhere. Show me one governor, apart from Yaradua, who left 5 billion. Now they live with debts, and they celebrate them. Look at the amount of money people are borrowing today. I didn't borrow 1 kobo. I left dollars and everything. I saw somebody yesterday. He told me he's the managing director of NIPP. And I said, yes, I invested $59 million in this exercise. So which family business? Every business I was doing, if anything, my family business, everything collapsed because I went to do my own business collapsed. Where was I? Before I became governor, I was chairman of Fidelity Bank. I was director in Guardian Express Bank. I was the director in 3 banks. And I'm there by virtue of my investment. I was owing 10% of each of those facilities. Before I became governor, I have a track record of what I was doing. I can go on and show you businesses I was doing. Before I became governor, I'm a colored man living in England. And I can raise about $10 million OD. Money we've borrowed and consumed or thrown away, if we are taking just 10% of it, 5% of it and thrown to the textile industry, Nigeria would have been a different place. We can earn more money from exporting textiles and garments than we earn from oil. Oil is just giving us $15 billion. Here, Bangladesh is doing $36 billion from garments, textiles, and Vietnam is doing $32 billion. They are more than oil, so we can do more. All you need to do is to remove Nigeria from consumption to production. I know how to do it. I'm aware.
This is the incoming, the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. See him pushing his luggage by himself. Very simple.